Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is the earlies for earlies for those of you who just clicked on this YouTube channel for the first time. And this is going to be the second part of the post high school and post college e-fix. Someone asked me as to why I started this YouTube channel. Really, I have young adults and people who are just finishing high school at heart. On this second part, I'm just going to be talking about expectations. So I realized that as I finished my high school, I was met with expectations, and I'm just going to try and break these expectations into different types so that you can understand and you can see which one is really affecting you in your life and how you can deal with it. So the first expectations that I was affected by was family expectations. So apparently my mom wanted me to be a lawyer, my brother an auditor, someone wanted me to be a nurse, a doctor, and the funny thing is I didn't want to be that. And all of this is all hidden under the fact that we want the best for you. And it's a form of love. Every family shows love in different ways. They had to give me what they were expecting from me, to be a doctor or to be whatever it is that they had in their minds. And I found myself really confused as to what am I going to do with my life, because I want to be everything. So I realized that I started to be very, very depressed and anxious because I was trying to, I was just in my head all the time trying to figure out how I can meet these expectations, stretching myself so wide, so thin that people were not really feeling me because I wasn't really focused on one thing. I was trying to please everyone. I was trying to make sure that I meet everyone's expectations, and I was really wrong on doing that. What happened is I started to really, being antisocial. I wasn't like sitting with them all the time because I was just thinking they're going to start with this issue of expectations, and I just don't want to talk about it because I don't know what to do. And if you haven't watched the first video as I was describing the issue of a rigid mindset, you'd understand that at that point you just don't even know how to even make decisions. You don't even know what you want to be. You don't even know what's required of you. So, and you don't even know how to navigate into this thing called reality, called life. So I really found myself trying to meet my family's expectations, and every family has expectations, and probably your family has expectations. They're expecting you to be something and to be someone, and you're probably confused as to how you're going to be this thing. So second expectation was the cultural expectations. I know if you're from other backgrounds and other cultures, you'd understand that if you're going to school and you just finish your high school, you're expected to actually start taking care of probably your family, because that's really how it is. It's not something bad because you're socialized into it as you're growing up, so you do not see the bad side of it. But the problem is sometimes when you're not able to meet those cultural expectations, you find yourself not being able to fit in. You find yourself feeling like you're a rebel, and these things really do manifest in nasty ways. You find yourself being addicted to drugs. You find yourself being a gambler. You find yourself doing a lot of things just because you don't want to meet the expectations. If you're one of those people who are also going through these cultural expectations, we're going to be talking about how to actually counter these things as well. So the third most important expectation was the worldly expectations. Guys, like it or not, we are born in a world where systems are set already. Everything is in place. The same way that if you did arts, you're supposed to be a lawyer, a social worker. The same way if you did sciences, you're supposed to be a scientist or a doctor. The world is already programmed this, and you're finding yourself trying to fit into what you've been socialized with at school. Because remember, you finish almost 18 years of your life at school, and you're socialized to be something that the world has expected of you already. Since you're doing arts, you're supposed to be a lawyer, so you're supposed to be in that faction. I'm really hoping and I'm praying that you do not fall under this worldly expectations, because the world really wants a lot from people, and sometimes you can't help it. You were born, it was there when you were born. You can't help it. So my own expectations, guys, we all have expectations. We all have what we expect from ourselves. And what's funny is you're your own prisoner. You made those expectations. You're supposed to live up to those expectations. You're the one who gets yourself to meet those expectations. You see, no one is going to try and catalyze the situation for you. You're supposed to be the one who's going to do it. So I found myself having a lot of expectations that I had set for myself, goals that I wanted to achieve. And just because my mind was so rigid and I wasn't told what to do in this, world of reality, world of post-college, I was so stuck, and I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I'm just going to ditch all my goals. I'm just going to ditch all my expectations and start leaving, for whatever it is that's there. I'm just going to, meet the world at whatever. We're just going to meet halfway, and I'm not going to have any expectations because they're going to kill me because them. So I'm just going to leave them. So you'll find yourself being that person who's going to ditch who you are, who's going to ditch your own goals because you're not prepared for the world. You're not prepared for whatever it is that's coming to your life. So I'm just going to get to the solutions and how you can deal with them. The saying goes, if you do not decide for yourself, the world will decide for you. So with me, I realized that I started to think that my family was being controlling. They want me to meet their expectations. They want me to make them happy. They want me to be, everything. And I can't. And I thought they were not paying attention to who I wanted to be because I hadn't even talked about it yet. I hadn't even told them that I want to be this. And I expected them to read my mind, which was really absurd. So I found myself starting to be very bitter because sometimes if you do not meet expectations, trust me, it will manifest in different ways. So what I did is I took ownership of my life. I told myself one day, I'm like, that is it. I am going to take ownership of my life. And the funny thing is, I know it's going to be hard if you're going to be taking ownership because chances are you're going to be going against your family. You're going to be going against the world expectations. You're going to be going against cultural expectations, and going against something is really difficult. But sometimes when you get that momentum, you're going to fly high, and no expectations are going to actually affect you because you have taken ownership of your life. Started to do my own things, and it took me nearly a year to start being recognized, to start being effective, to start being, people really feeling my effect in my family or in the world because I took ownership of my life. I told myself that this is it, this is enough. I'm going to start working on a project. I'm going to start working on myself. I'm going to start meeting my own expectation that I had set myself for. And to my surprise, when I started taking ownership of my life, all of these things started to break away. And the funny thing is, sometimes when you start meeting your own expectations, all of these things will just fall into place. But if you do not do that earlier, if you do not even know that expectations are going to affect you, you will just keep on being in this spiral and cycle for years and years and not even be happy. You might even meet your family's expectation and realize that, oh my God, that is not what I wanted to meet. You might even realize that you meet your own expectation, but that's not who you are. I started to focus on who I was. And when I saw through, because remember, it's not going to be easy because you're going against something. If you're going against something, it's not going to be easy. If you're going against the world, imagine you're fighting and going against the world, whatever it is that you were born and it was there. And you're saying, no, I want to go this way. Remember, when you start succeeding and you have the fulfillment, all of those things will just be thrown away. Your family will start to respect you and know that you make decisions and you're taking ownership of your life. So that is what I really did. And I realized that I was now free to make decisions. Even your family will not even tell you what to do because they know that you're responsible. They know that, oh my God, you know how to say things and put into action. So yeah, and I really hope that someone out there is helped with these things. Take ownership of your life. Make sure that you're independent. Do not wait for anyone to make decisions for you, and make sure you act upon what you say, because that is going to differentiate you from everyone else. You have to make sure that you put your expectations first and see how you will be productive and flourish in your life. Guys, this is the end of my video, and stay tuned for the part 3 that I talked about validation, seeking for validation, and how I did it and how it was the worst thing that I did. And I hope that you click that notification button to get this 3rd part of the series. Bye.